Hello, hello, hello. Good to see you. Whoopsies. Good to see you. You get fairy dust. I get fairy dust. Little Amelie gets fairy dust. And it's time for another lesson from Codependent No More by Melody Beatty. I tore my cover off because I wanted it to be white. I'm practicing organizing and I'm practicing harmony. And so I'm trying to keep all my colors harmonious. Okay, so today we're talking about chapter 6, and it says, don't be blown about by every wind. And she starts off the chapter with, I am a reactionary. And when you start going to 12-step meetings, one of the things that you'll hear is that addicts and codependents, okay, it's actually a promise in the book, so I can't say it in the negative way, but it says we act upon life instead of reacting to it. We act upon life instead of reacting to it. That's one of the promises that we'll get if we get sober from our addiction or our eating disorder or our codependency. And so if you think about it, like all through our childhood, the only thing that we could do was react. And then we figured out very quickly our role in the family, and then we would react from that role. We react from our trauma responses: fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. When shit goes down, it's like we'll shut down, freeze, we'll try to fix somebody else or get into that person's business, fawn, fight. What do you mean, ba 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 ba? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? I just got a notification on my calendar that just says no. Meaning don't schedule anybody at this place, but it just says no. Thought I would share. You can put appointments in your calendar that just say fucking no. Okay, so we react by fighting. Something goes on and we're so mad and we can't believe they did it and blah 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 blah. Or we'll just like get so busy, like let me just dive into work, or let me dive into this, that, or the other thing. And so that's all reactions. We react, and we don't. We think that's how to live. We think that living is reacting. We think that that is what we're supposed to be doing with the world. She says, but I think we react because of our childhood trauma, but she says we react because we're anxious and afraid of what happened. We react because we think things shouldn't be happening the way that they are. P.S. They should, because they are. React because we don't feel good about ourselves. We react because most people react. We react because we think we have to react. But the secret is we don't have to. I mean, I want you just to think about next time some shit goes down, next time somebody acts out in your family, some shenanigans is happening. What if you didn't get in the mix? What would happen if you didn't react? Like, aren't you interested to find out? Like, what would happen if somebody in your family, mom says you're this, that, or the other thing? And I need to close this window before Emily sees the dog. What if, mom said that you're always late, or mom said this, or mom said that? Okay. Mom can say that. What if you didn't react? What if you didn't get mad at the messenger? What if you didn't call mom to find out if she said that and get into triangling? Like, what if you didn't react? What would happen? It's really magical to find out. You'll be so surprised the more healed you get that your reaction, not only was it you were being baited to react, but your reaction is part of the chaos, confusion, and the drama. And the reaction can cause as much problem as the initial thing that happened. And so what if you didn't react? What if you just let it play out? What if you just let the other adults do what they're gonna fucking do? What if you didn't react? Like, I think you might want to find out what happens if you don't react. And then I think you want to find out, like, how do I want to react? What do I want to do? Like, you know, I just had something happen to me, an adult businesswoman's experience. Like, it's just a thing that happened. And it's a thing that's supposed to happen. But when I got the email that said that it happened, I had a I had a reaction. What did I do? What have I done wrong? Oh God. Oh, this feeling is terrible. You know, like I reacted instead of thinking like that's the next right thing. Like, oh, there's that. Oh, that happened. And so, I mean, we're just like horses at the gate, you know, ready for the race, ready to react to whatever happens. And I'm just saying, what if we don't? Like, what's the worst that can happen? Just what if we don't react? The other thing I want to talk about is we don't have to take things so personally. And I don't, you know, there's some things I wish could be said in another way, because this phrase, don't take stuff so personally, is shit that shamers say to us. Don't take that personally. You shouldn't take that personally. So I don't love it as a tool. I think of it more instead of like don't take it personally, is trying to reminding myself it's not personal. It's not personal. It's not about me. Again, these are words that people use, but they're hard to make into tools for me because they've been used as weapons against me, or weapons, you know, in my direction. And so I think a great example of this is, because you've done it before. So for me, it's just like, oh, this isn't personal. This isn't personal. And so I love working with people who have teenagers, because teenagers they hate their parents. I mean, that's developmentally normal. You're supposed to have this phase where you fucking hate your parents, and people come to see me and they're so upset and so hurt by that. Or, you know, not even teenagers, sometimes kids, like people will be, and I was this way. When my kids lied to me, I felt so betrayed. And so I love it when my clients come in and say, like, I feel so confused and hurt. My child who's never lied to me, like straight to my face. And I'm just like, oh, that's wonderful news. That is amazing. That is great, because we want our kids to build autonomy from us. It's a shit show for us as the parents. I hate it. It's a nightmare. But this is where they need to do this. They need to start breaking out of their box. They need to stop conforming to us so that they can gain autonomy and that they can be happy and live without us, which is the goal of parenting. The goal of parenting isn't this. The goal of parenting is this. And so I mean, when teenage daughters, they typically, not always, but typically they are trying to gain more autonomy from their mother than sons do, or daughters to their dads, because of a lot of reasons. But, you know, the relationship is so close, and we're the same sex. And so, you know, and with the father, you know, one of the most important people in their lives, and then they have to, you know, in their psyches, like, fuck, I gotta live without this woman when I grow up, so I gotta get started. And so they'll lie, and then the peers become the most important thing, and then they'll do bad things. They might use, or you know, break the law or whatever. Okay. So people will come in and like, oh my God, I can't believe that. I can't believe that person lied to me. I can't believe my kid lied to me. I can't believe my kid drank. I can't believe my kid would do this. This isn't my kid. Like, what is this? And then I'm, again, obnoxious, and I'm like, this is great news. This is great news, because they're doing it at home. Some of the kids spill out when they're in their 20s because they weren't allowed to do this shit growing up developmentally. Okay, so one of the things that I say is like, when your daughter calls you a bitch, or when you're, you know, it's like, I hate you, whatever it is our kids are saying to us. I want you to think about when your child was a toddler. We all know about the terrible twos, and that is a really important time for a child. They're gaining their autonomy. They start saying no. Will you do that? No, I don't want that. I don't want to eat that. I don't want to wear that. No, you can't have my toy, da, 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 da. And we aren't like, or like our kid, you know, crying in the checkout because all the candy's there, and they're crying or having a fit out in public or something like that. We're not like, we don't go to our therapist and like, I can't believe my kid embarrassed me in front of the cashier at the grocery store because my kid wanted candy and I said no and they cried. We don't say like, my toddler wouldn't share his toy with me. Why? This is awful. Like, I feel terrible. No, we're like this. We're like, oh, I mean, it's again annoying, but we're like, oh, sweet, terrible twos. Like, this is what toddlers do. This is how they grow. We're not personally fucking offended. We're not like, oh my God, I can't believe my child, you know, said, I don't like you, mommy, you're mean. Like, we're not like, we could, because they're so fucking cute when they do it. And so we don't take it personally. Well, as a parent of a teenager, that is still our job. Oh, I mean, I remember my daughter's redheaded, and I remember, and believe me, I mean, I'm not saying I'm a great parent. I was probably a pretty shitty parent, so I'm not saying I'm so great. But on one of my conscious days, she was yelling at me and ran up the stairs. I mean, and because this red hair, and I probably was also seeing red. Her bedroom was upstairs, and I just saw this red hair running upstairs, and I had a conscious moment of like, oh, she's doing what she did when she was a toddler. Like, this is normal. It hurts my feelings because I miss the days when they used to think I was a fucking goddess. That didn't last forever. I'm still very upset about that. I did not know I was gonna have to go through all this gaining autonomy shit. So, that's the attitude. Oh, look, that's what that person's doing. That's what they're doing. That's what narcissists do. That's what that kind of person does. There's an alcoholic drinking. Oh, I can't believe the alcoholic's drinking. That's what alcoholics do. It's not about me. It's not personal. It's about me being more conscious and not, you know, almost like a vacuum sucking in everything that happens, that it's an offense to me, This is advanced work. It is very, 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 very difficult. Most people can't even do it with their own kids, even when they know it's good for them. Now, just FYI, just as an aside, this isn't a how to parent teens or anything video, but just so you know, she got a consequence. But the consequence was not me yelling at her, how dare you? How dare you say these things to me? You should never talk to your mother like that. That wasn't, that's reacting. It's, okay, you're not gonna talk to me like that, and so here's your consequence. But I'm not gonna be upset about it. I'm not gonna hate you. You're my child. But because unfortunately, or fortunately, fortunately, I'm your parent, but unfortunately, I have to fucking give out consequences. I didn't know that was going to be a thing either. I'd have to be like doling out natural consequences or otherwise consequences. So they gets a consequence, and they need the consequence so they'll feel safe as they're gaining autonomy. But You're horrible. I never talk to you again. Don't you dare talk to me like that. It's got to be like, oh look, she's gaining her autonomy. She's gaining her autonomy. And now she has to have a consequence, just like we gave a consequence to the toddler. Now, this is how you share. Now, yes, you are taking a bath. Yes, you are brushing your teeth. They get a consequence, but we don't take it personally out. My child isn't brushing her, we don't take it personally. We understand because they're children. And so education helps us not take the shit our babies do, our toddlers do, our young kids do. Education also helps us not get hooked into what our kids our teenagers are doing when they gain autonomy and have to break the rules. And education about addiction, about codependency, about childhood trauma, CPTSD, education will help us not react to the shenanigans of the adults in our life. So I hope that's helpful. Love you. Bye.